bitch, you let me on my own.
Hey, what's up, guys? Peace. Let's discuss and go over AEW Full Gear for November the 19th, 2022. This was way too long. This show was way too fucking long. Way too long. Tony Khan has to understand that less is more. And he also has to understand that this show didn't need to be 4 hours long. It just didn't need to. 5 hours if you watch the pre-show, which I did. 5 hours of wrestling, way too fucking much. Way too much. Overall, the show itself was decent. I really did enjoy Full Gear. We're going to go over the pre-show fairly quickly. Then we're going to get right into the review. We're going to get right into the main card. All right. First match on the pre-show. The Factory versus Best Friends. Best Friends, they win. It was a 10-person tag. Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage for the spot in the finals for the Eliminator Tournament. So, Ricky Starks, he advances. Last match on the pre-show, Eddie Kingston versus Jun Yakiyama. Eddie Kingston wins. Post-match, Eddie hugged Jun, and they shook hands. And then Eddie got on the microphone and cut a really good promo and running down the match card for the main show. And that was how we went out the air for the pre-show. All right. Let's get on with the main show. First match of the night. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus in a steel cage match. So, about 3 minutes into the match, Jungle Boy is busted open because Luchasaurus threw Jungle Boy into the steel cage and he bit him. And so Jack Perry started bleeding like crazy. He was busted open like a fountain. There were some pretty good spots in the match. Luchasaurus brought a steel chair in the ring. He started beating on Perry a little bit more. Christian, he got into the steel cage door. He got it open, but he was escorted out by officials and security. So towards the end of the match, Jungle Boy starts to get some offense in, and then Luchasaurus is laid out on a table. Jungle Boy jumps off the steel cage, does an elbow through the table, and he locks in the snap. My bad. The snare trap for the win. So I thought that was, a decent match. I really enjoyed it. It's interesting to see where Jungle Boy goes from here. And basically this was the right call. But I'm glad that they added blood to the match. It kind of, gave the match more drama, which is always a good thing. So kudos to Jungle Boy for winning. I don't know what they're going to do with Luchasaurus going forward or Christian. I'm pretty sure they're going to revisit this whenever Christian is fully healed from his shoulder injury. And we'll probably revisit this feud maybe either by, I want to say, Revolution, or if not, definitely Double or Nothing. Moving on. Death Triangle versus the Elite. So the Elite, they get a massive reaction. They had a really solid entrance. Don Callis was with the Elite. This was a spot fest match. This was a spot fest match. You know, it's a Young Bucks Omega match. We know it's going to be a bunch of kicks, flips, and dives and all that other crazy bullshit. So, in the end, Death Triangle, they pull out the win because Pac, he passed Phoenix the hammer. Phoenix used the hammer while he was on the shoulders of Omega, who was about to do the one-wing angel. And Death Triangle gets the win via the roll-up. So I'm fine with this. This is great. Next. Oh, wait. I gotta mention, before we move on to the Jade Cargill stuff, I'm pissed at this because, for whatever reason, Tony Khan has lost his fucking mind. This is now going to be a best of 7 series. Oh my God. Tony Khan, you are a fucking moron. We don't need this between these two teams. We don't. This is going to last until January. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what the fuck is going on here? All because of the nefarious means of Death Triangle. It doesn't make any sense. I think it's stupid. It really is. Doesn't make any lick of sense at all. But it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. Let's move on from this. All right. Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose for the AEW TBS Women's Championship. Jade Cargill wins. She retained via the Jaded. And now Nyla Rose can take her... Nyla Rose can go back to catering. I was about to say her. Well, I did say her, but you know what I mean. Nyla Rose can now go back to fucking catering. She's not been on TV in months. Like, it was stupid. You know, it was a waste of time. And this is a match that didn't need to be on the show. This was one match that could have been on like a Rampage or even a Dynamite. But, you know, this is something that we could have done, like, on Dynamite this week within, like, the first hour of the show. That's what I would have done. Moving on. The Fatal 4-Way involving Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Sammy Guevara, and Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This was a decent match. Jericho wins via the running Judas effect to Claudio. And before that, he also hit Sammy with a Judas effect while him and Claudio were fighting. So that's pretty cool. Then Jericho was backstage along with Jake Hager. So Jericho is now going to be facing, get this, Tomohiro Ishii. Oh my God. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. This is going to be boring as fuck. And we're going to get Orange Cassidy versus Jake Hager for the All-Atlantic Championship. What a bore. What a bore. Those two matches are going to be boring as fuck. Dr. Britt Baker, the MD, versus Saraya, who cares? Tomato. Saraya wins via not one but two rampage. Is it rampages or page turners? She wins 2 via page turners. So we don't know what we're calling her move yet. But it basically was just the page turners for the win. So this is pretty cool. I'm guessing they're going to probably continue this story for a while as well, because it's not just going to be a one and done thing with her and Britt. That's what I would do. Next, Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow for the AEW TNT Championship. Surprisingly, Samoa Joe wins. Towards the end of the match, everyone is brawling, and out of nowhere, Joe comes in. He whacks Wardlow from behind with the ROH Championship, and he quickly locks in the Coquina Clutch to Hobbs, who passes out. And so now Joe has 2 championships, that being the Ring of Honor Television Championship as well as the TNT Championship. I'm fine with this. This is interesting. The reason why I'm saying this is because since MJF won the AEW Championship, I do think that if we build up Wardlow for well over a year, he could be the one to dethrone MJF. And I think that would be a tremendous story to be told. And that it would basically just be great if that were to happen. So, moving on, which I do expect there to be a rematch between Joe and Wardlow. They'll probably run it back at Winter is Coming. So, yeah. Next, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett take on Sting and Darby Allin. Sting and Darby, they win via the Scorpion Deathlock into the Coffin Drop for the 1-2-3. And they also took out Satnam Singh in this match as well. Sting is still doing dives off the top rope. Still fucking, off of barricades. Still fucking amazing. Really good shit. Next, Toni Storm versus Hayter for the interim AEW Women's Championship. Hayter, she wins. Toni Storm got a bloody nose in this match as well. Really good match, really back and forth match. Both Britt Baker and Rebel got involved, but Hayter was able to pick up the win by herself via a big lariat. So that was cool. Next, the Acclaim versus Swerve In Our Glory for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So, basically, in the match, Swerve wanted to be a heel. So, he brought clippers into the ring, and he had tried to clip Bowens, but he wasn't able to, and he wanted Keith Lee to do it. Keith Lee didn't do it, so Swerve slapped the shit out of him, and then I thought that Keith Lee was going to lose it and beat the fuck out of Swerve, but he didn't, so he dipped out, and it then became a 2-on-1, the Acclaim versus Swerve. The Acclaim win. And so now we can begin our feud between Swerve and Keith Lee, which should be great. This needed to happen. Keith Lee's better as a singles. The same thing with Swerve. And they'll probably have their first match probably at Winter's Coming. So that would be fine. Main event. MJF versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. MJF wins. So, towards the end of the match, there is not one but two ref bumps. So Regal, he comes out. He's talking to Moxley, telling him to get the ref. Out of nowhere, Regal slips the knucks to MJF, who whacks Moxley with him, and he wins 1, 2, 3. Because he attempted at first to use the diamond ring when there was the first ref bump, but Regal told him, no, don't do it. Do not do it. And so he doesn't do it. He flips off Regal. Another cool spot in the match was when MJF and Moxley were brawling, and Moxley's like, come on, motherfucker, tell me what you got. Like he audibly said it. So that was really cool shit right there. And MJF spit in his face. So that was also cool. But I'm glad that MJF is champion. It actually makes sense. And it's the right call. MJF is not losing the championship at all. He's not. And the only person who I want to dethrone MJF is Wardlow. And that needs to happen, I would basically say, around 2024. You know, right now, we can see MJF in a ton of feuds. Ricky Starks is probably going to beat Ethan Page on Dynamite. So it'll probably be Ricky and MJF at either Revolution or Winter is Coming. I much would do at Revolution versus just trying to just do Ricky Starks versus MJF at Winter is Coming. I mean, even though it's always been like a big show for the past couple years for AEW, but I much rather would prefer to see something else. I think you could actually build story for that. But overall, this show was decent. I liked it, but it was rather long. Way too long, if you ask me, though. 4 hours is way too much. I think going forward, Tony Khan really needs to understand that less is more and that we don't need 13 matches. We could basically do a total of, I want to say, either 6 to 8 matches on the main card, and on the pre-show, probably 1 or 2 matches, and that's it. So please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. MJF is finally fucking champion. Peace.
Everybody hides their head, trying to